2019 Exam 2, Question 2, Networks and Decision Making. Okay, in our allocation problem, we've got student must be allocated to sport, and we fill out the table below with the answers. Looking quite closely at this diagram, you can see that Charlie has only got one connection to football, so if they only got one choice, that must be them. And then, so Blake can't get the football, so the only one left for Blake is tennis. Since tennis is already gone, Juan must get to basketball. And you can see from elimination, of course, Marco must get I'll get there eventually, athletics. And because obviously he can't do tennis and can't do basketball, I think that's a fairly easy question. Okay, after being fairly nice to us for the exam so far, they've gone and given us a Hungarian. And you can actually start to see that if you look at these numbers here, they're all really low. So you know you're going to get like that column's going to be all the zeros. So, and then also these numbers are quite low. It's heading towards the full Hungarian, isn't it? So let us start at the beginning, and our first step is going to be row reduction. Okay, so we look at each row and deduct the lowest number in each row. So we're going to subtract 13.3 from this number, and then we're going to subtract it from this number, and this number, which I've done with the magic of pausing so that I don't make any mistakes. This is going to take a while. And then this row, the lowest number is 14.5, so this one's going to be 0, and then it's 14.5 must be subtracted from all of these. 13.3 from all of these ones. And 15.2 from all of these ones. And that's pretty obvious that if you do one line to cover them all, it's just going to be that first column. So after you do column reduction, row reduction, you've got to do column reduction. So we're going to do column reduction. Now this first column, that's fine. There's at least a 0 in here, but this column doesn't have a 0 in it, so we have to choose the lowest number in that column. So that lowest number is 14, so we're going to subtract 14, so that gets us a 0 here. Subtract 14, 14, 14. The next column, our lowest number is 46.4. You can see this gets quite cramped. Our lowest number in the last column is 72.7, so there's a 0, and then we're going to subtract 72.7 from all of those. And then we're going to try and cover everything. Remember, you're trying to cover with the lines. There's one line that covers all the zeros there, and another line that covers the zeros there. We've got 4 tasks. We need to be doing this with minimum 4 lines. We've only done 2. This means we've got to go to the full Hungarian, which means we need to actually look at those crossed out lines. Let's just do it in a slightly different color. So we've got the green covering these ones and the green covering these ones, which means this lower 100 meters is covered twice. So then we look at all the uncovered ones. So the uncovered numbers are this, 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 and this, and the lowest number there is 1.1, so we can start subtracting 1.1 from all of them. So subtracted in the full Hungarian, we've subtracted 1.1 from all the numbers, but this one in the corner, it's double crossed, so we have to add 1.1. So this one's going to be 1.1. And then we think about our line crossings. So I'm going to choose a different color again, just to keep changing colors randomly. Let's do purple. So I can do the one line there and a second line there, but I've still got some more zeros to cover. I do need to cover a 0 there, and I do need to cover a 0 that's actually there, such as the joys of doing the full Hungarian. So you can see I did need 4 lines to do this. So once I've got my 4 lines, I can't do it any other way. I can start the allocation process. Now I'm going to do this a bit slowly because, you know, this is just a video to explain things to you. You got A, I, J, L, and you've got the 100, 200, 300, and 400. So any 0 is a connection to that sport. So looking at Anita, she can do the 100 because she's got a 0 in the 100, and she can also do the 400. Imani can do the 100 and also the 200. Jordan can only do the 100, and Lola can do the 100 and also the 200 and the 300 and the 400. And that gets a bit messy, but you can see that Jordan, he's only got the 1 0, or she. So Jordan must get the 100. Now, if you eliminate the 100, so that's all allocated, ignore that, you can just see that like Anita's only got 1 0, which is the 400. So Anita must get the 400, which means the 400 is completely eliminated. Then if you look at this, Imani's only got 1 0. That is actually in the 200 column. I know it just gets messy with this thing. So Imani must get the 200. And so you can scrub out the 200 column. Whoops, didn't do it in highlighter. Let me, just for the fussiness. There's the 200, which means the 300 is the only one left for Lola, even though she could do every event. So run, Lola, run for 300. I'm just going to do that in purple. I'm just having a color mist today. So there you go. That is how you allocate these things. And you had to go row reduction, column reduction, full Hungarian with decimal numbers and have a lovely, you don't have to do this messy diagram in the corner. They didn't ask for it, but that's how you actually interpret it. So any 0 means you can do an arrow in your bipartite diagram, just so you know the connection between a Hungarian and a bipartite diagram. I think that was a fairly tricky question, and if I look at the answers, only about half of people got the full 2 marks for that. There you go. Some responses were awarded 1 mark for 2 correct allocations. So, bit of luck there.